Hello, Hollywood Times listener. Judy Shields here today. Today, we welcome back Alex Miller, who turned 21 this year, stands 6 foot 6 inches, and is a country music singer and songwriter who moved to Nashville back in May and made his debut on the Grand Ole Opry in June. American Idol season 19 brought him fame and totally changed his life in 2021. Hi, Alex. Thank you for joining us here at Hollywood Times.
Well, hey, how are you? And hello to all the listeners out there. Hope y'all are doing good today.
We sure are. We look forward to talking with you. What's been happening with you?
Well, we've been doing a lot of traveling and a lot of playing. In fact, I was out y'all's way here not too long ago. I was up in Oregon and Washington State and Idaho Falls out on the west coast and a little bit in California too. So I got to see a lot of the lay of the land and really enjoyed my time out there. So I was gone for about 2 weeks. We made about 8 or 9 stops out there along the way, visiting radio stations and that kind of deal. So we've been really busy.
Yes, and I understand you've got a new single out there called "She Makes Dirt Look Good," which is currently
I
available. What
I
what was it
do,
like when
yeah.
you read that song the first time? What did
Well,
you think
see,
about
of course, I didn't write "She
it?
Makes
Yeah,
Dirt Look Good." It was pitched to me, and when I
yeah.
first read the title, I thought, well, this makes me think of farming because I come from I grew up on a little cattle farm in Kentucky, and I thought, well, this song might have some merit to it. So I listened to it the first time, and I was like, yeah, it's all right. And then I listened, but I wanted to listen to it again.
Yeah.
So I listened to it 2 or 3 more times, and I thought, well, I think this one might be really good for me, right up my alley. And I could see my country fans loving it too. And sometimes I think as artists we like to record stuff for ourselves, but we really need to think about who we're singing to. And I know my audience pretty well, and I know that they're going to eat this song up. So and it's already showing that that's the case because we've had a lot of streams on it and this, that, and the other. And I had some videos of me singing the song that have done really well. So we're really excited to see what it does.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I really like hearing, the fiddle and steel guitar. You like that in your music, don't you?
Well, I feel like if it's country music, it's kind of necessary.
Yeah.
It seems like there's a lot of country songs now that don't have a fiddle and a steel,
Yeah.
and I feel like I owe it to the music to have those in there.
Yeah, I'm glad that you do that. I like the line that says she makes a tractor ride like a Cadillac. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Now the tractor I grew up driving, it rode like a Ford. It didn't ride so well. But no, nothing against my Ford people out there, but my I grew up driving a tractor that did not ride like a Cadillac. I guess the Cadillac of tractors is a John Deere. So, but
Okay.
for if you're ever going to buy one, I recommend a John Deere to you because it's the Cadillac.
There you go. Oh, so who are the songwriters of the song?
Well, there are a couple guys down here in Nashville. I met one of them. He writes for Craig Morgan and a bunch of other guys too. And
That's
they
Kerry
was
Phillips, I think.
yeah, Kerry Phillips. Yeah, that's who I was trying to think of. Yeah, I know he was one of the main writers. In fact, I met Kerry out at the Opera House. He was out there with uh, like I said, with Craig Morgan. They were going out and doing some shows together, and
Oh my gosh.
I told him about cutting the song, and he was all excited about it. So I got to meet him, and he loved the song, and I do too. I think it, like I said, I think it's going to do really well for me, and I'm
Yeah.
just thankful those guys got down and wrote that thing.
And I see here it's Phil O'Donnell and Dusty Drake.
Yeah, I
See?
haven't met those guys, but
Yeah.
sometimes you don't know who's writing your songs you're singing, but I do like what they done. I mean, they didn't know it, but they wrote a song for me. It goes over great at my shows too. We've been playing it out live on my shows and seeing what audiences like, and they seem like they like it too. We get a good clapping for it every time.
Yeah. I always like to shout out to the songwriters, you being one too. It's just an
Oh yeah.
amazing thing what the songwriters can do. And so I see behind you something that says the Grand Ole Opry standing up there. What is that, Alex?
Well, they gave me that when I debuted on the Opry. It's a little kind of care package. It has like their Opry almanac in there.
Aw.
Has a picture frame for a picture that I've actually got at home. But a bunch of things like that, little keepsakes and things. Actually, even gave me a little Christmas ornament to put on my Christmas tree. So
Oh my
all kinds of cool
goodness.
stuff,
It's
all kinds of Opry stuff. And I'm looking at it over here. I've got my debut sign or reserve sign. I've got
Oh.
it's sitting here looking at it. But I'm about to. I haven't hung much pictures up in here. I did hang my uh, Grand Ole Opry poster too. I got one of those. Everybody signed it for me. It's a cool deal. So
Like that's amazing going to the Grand Ole Opry, isn't it?
for me, it was.
Tell us how it
Everybody.
happened.
Sure. So, everybody thought Luke Bryan was going to take me to the Grand Ole Opry. That was kind of the American Idol spin, but that
Yeah.
never happened. I don't know if he was just busy or what the deal was. So I have another buddy that's from back home in Kentucky, Eddie Montgomery of Montgomery
Oh.
Gentry. He's an opera member, and I was talking to him one day about it, and he said, "You never played the opera, had you?" I said, "No." I said, "Luke Bryan was supposed to get me on there, but he didn't. That all fell through." And I said, "I don't know if I'll ever get to play it or not, Eddie." And he said, "Well, I might be able to do something about that." And I didn't think nothing of it. That was about a year ago.
Wow.
And he texted me out of the blue one day and said, "Hey, what do you got going on in June? I'm looking for some dates." And I said, "Okay." So I sent him a bunch of dates and things that I had available. And he said, "What about June the 27th?" I said, "That sounds good." And I never heard nothing back from him. I figured that he was trying to book me to open up for him at some place or something. So
Yeah.
I didn't think nothing of it. And then all of a sudden, my mom, she texted me and she said, "Hey, we got to film some promo stuff for a show coming up." I said, "I need you to dress really, really nice." I said, "Really nice?" I said, "Okay." So I did, and I dressed up, to the nines. It looked good, I thought, and
Yeah.
uh, I was sitting in my little room, my little studio at my house, and uh, in walked Eddie Montgomery. And I said, "Eddie, what in the hell are you doing here?" And he said, "Well, Hoss," he said, "we've talked about you going and playing at the Opry. Why don't you come join me this June the 27th?" And at that point, I about jumped out of my skin. I mean, I got up and thanked him, give him a big hug, and just thanked him. And um, so sure enough, June 27th rolls around, and I get a debut spot there on the Grand Ole Opry, and it was incredible. It really was. There's so many people that have helped me along the way, and it's not just me playing the opera; it's those people that have helped me and believed
Yeah.
in me, my music,
Yeah.
and I tried to invite as many of them that have helped me along the way. In fact, I even invited the first person that ever let me sing. His name is Tommy Hurst. He's from Mercer County, Kentucky. He's 90 years old,
Oh.
and he got to come down and see me play at the Opry. And I was there at the Opera House and recognized him and just told him thank you for giving me a chance. And
Mhm.
also, of course, the two songs I did, one was Putting Up Hay. That was a single uh, about this time last year. And then I also did a song about my granddad who helped me a lot along my career. I did my daddy's dad on there too. So I didn't get to play She Makes Dirt Look Good. Hopefully that'll be next. But um, my debut was just great. And, I got my whole band, everybody in my band, they'd never been back there. So they all got to come back there and be a part of it. And I'm just so thankful that I got to do it. And it was just a great night for me and everybody that's helped me too.
Yeah, it's nothing like walking through the where it says artist entrance. Isn't that so cool back there?
Yes, and I'd been backstage a few times
Yeah.
before for some different things, but I never thought I'd ever get to play. And the fact that I did is just incredible. And I'm so thankful that I got to do it. My grandmother got to be there. A lot of my family did,
Aw.
and it was just really a sweet thing to happen.
So talking about your 5-song EP, My Daddy's Dad, that was produced by Jerry Salley. How is it
Mhm.
doing for you?
Doing really well. I know our music video, it's done really well over on YouTube. We've had a lot of success with the Daddy's Dad music video.
Hmm.
Um, every song on that record is done. We do every song on that record except Last House in God's Country live. We do all of them. That one just didn't seem to fit our show very well. We tried it a few nights and we wasn't getting much response. It was like, "Oh, okay, whatever. You get the hint.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
Oh Odessa, that's a song that's about out in Texas. It's off the record. It's really good. I think there's a lot of people that are. I think that'll continue to grow for the next several years. That's a great song. Ain't Never Saying Never. That's a song that I wrote about my future ex-wife or future wife, whatever you want to say. But I wrote that one. It's been a really good song. And then my daddy's dad, of course, is on the record. That's a tribute to my grandpa. And then She Makes Dirt Look Good. And I mean, it's a great 5-song EP. My plan is probably to come out with another record, a full 10-song record this next rotation. But I was enjoying doing the EPs because we could release singles off of there. And that's kind of seems to be the strategy right now is just singles for
Yeah.
everybody, not just me. So that's
Yeah.
my plan to kind of start that all back again. But I've got some great stuff musically coming up as well. My next project, my daddy's dad's great and it's doing great. But my next project is going to be something really
Ooh.
special. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. I've got some duet stuff. Uh, I'm excited about
Oh.
that, and then some great songs as well. Some a few of them that a lot of some other country legends have been a part of. We'll put it that way.
Oh, can't wait to hear about that. We'll sure have you back to talk about that.
I'm sure you will.
So, you travel to fairs and festivals and a range of venues. Which one do you like the most and why?
Oh, I don't know. I like a good fair and a festival. That's what I do a lot of.
Yeah.
I like and I like a good theater too. I just played my hometown of Lancaster, Kentucky. There was a big theater there in our hometown, and sold the place out. It was awesome. Um, I like doing those because they're really intimate with your audience. You know,
Mm,
everybody's there to listen to you, and
yeah.
so that's a great feeling and a special experience as well because like I said, yeah, they're there for you. They have there's no TVs to watch, like at a bar or something. It's just you. And
Yes.
that's really what I like as an artist is to be able to get up and for people to be paying attention to what I'm saying and not do anything else. That's
Yeah.
what I live for. But also I like a fair festival atmosphere as well because you get people that sing back to you, and it's not nothing against theaters. It seems like that those people are just there to listen,
Yeah.
uh, these fairs and festivals are there more people are there to participate, and you can have a lot more fun with your audience, I think, at a fair and a festival. And you throw down. I always say I can throw down a little better for them,
That's
but
that's such good words.
that's the truth.
So,
But
Alex, when was the first time that you stopped singing and your fans kept singing it? What was it like to you to hear that?
oh, it was an awesome experience. I have a song that I'm gonna try to get it recorded, and we just kind of did it at our live shows to see what people would think of it. It's called "Heaven Yes, Hell No." What's the name of the song? It's like a rowdy bluegrass song. If there is such thing, and I've had them sing back to me before. I think the first time was right after American Idol. I'm over, you should get over me. That was a song about my ex girlfriend, and sang that one back to me, and they still do. But
Oh,
that's a great feeling, People are actually out there listening to your songs and listening to your material and living with it. It's just like me. I have to live with songs for almost 6 months sometimes, and it's nice to know the other people out there living with them too. And that's a great feeling to have somebody sing your songs back to them. I'd say the first time was probably right after Idol and that song and that video was so popular.
yeah, that's cool. So, you've been an opening act for some of the greatest names. Like I'm going to name a few here: Brooks
Yeah,
and
go ahead.
Dunn, Hank Jr., Josh Turner, Lee Brice, Jamie Johnson, Justin Moore, Alabama, Chapel Hart, Noah Thompson, Dylan Carmichael, Hunter Girl, Emily Ann Roberts, Neil McCoy, and Tracy Bird. That must be really cool. Was there any of those that you
Did
were
you say
just so
those again?
nervous?
I'm just kidding. I'm just
No,
kidding. No, that's hard for me to believe some
I
days.
know. Goodness. Did they make you nervous, any of them?
The
Meeting them?
The Brooks and Dunn show and the Hank Jr. show, I was a little nervous on that one because I didn't know with Hank Jr. I didn't know what to expect, but he was really nice to me. And with Brooks and Dunn, I mean that's the biggest crowd I probably ever played to.
Yeah.
I think there was 20,000 people at that show. It was in
Wow.
Iowa. And there I was up there just getting it, But that was a great experience, and I hope to be playing to audiences like that a lot more. So it was awesome.
Yes. And then in 2022, you released your debut album for Billy Jam Records, Miller Time. Where did that
Mhm.
title come from, and what was that like having your very first one?
Well, it was a lot of work to get that record going. I'm starting
Yeah.
to get in the cycle of things now, but that first record, I was 17 when I cut all them vocals and all that stuff, and you can
Wow.
hear it in the voice. You can hear how young I am. And I'm still young, but you can hear how really young I am there. But that title for that, I figured being Alex Miller, I mean,
Yeah,
Miller,
Miller. Yes,
it
got
kind
it.
of it only made sense that it's Miller time. and the fans seem to really latch on to that too. And since then, I've that title has helped me a lot because I've got a lot of free Millers out of that deal. So I'm
Woohoo! Now that
grateful
you're
for that.
21.
Now that I'm 21, that's right.
He could say that, folks.
That's right. That's right.
So, share with us the experience you had when you started your American Idol journey.
Well, I'll give credit where it's due. My mom's the one that signed me up for it. I probably would have never done it myself. But I was kind of shy, to be honest with you, about it. I just wanted to develop myself before I did something like that. And I was at the point where I was a pretty good musician, um, and I was playing gigs around, and then COVID hit. And so COVID
Right.
killed all my gigs. And
Hmm.
so my mom said, "Well, you ain't got nothing really going on. Why don't you try out for American Idol?" Because I said, "No, man, I don't have nothing going on." I was 17, and we were talking about school too, what I was going to do after school, and I
Yeah.
didn't really know. And she said, "Well," said, "let's sign you up for Idol and see how it goes." And I told her I've always wanted to be a singer, I want to be a musician.
Yeah.
So she signed me up for it, and we got on a Zoom call, and she uh, I'd practiced and worked my songs up and auditioned and went from one call to the next, and they'd send me on to another group of them.
Yeah.
And I did about three times, and this lady said, "Well, hey, what'd you think about coming out to San Diego, California, and singing for all the celebrity judges?" And I said, "Well, it sounds like a plan to me. Ain't much going on in Lancaster these days." So we packed up and went out there, and we were out there about a week, and got to meet all the judges. Everything that I'm talking about now. You can go see it. From this point on in the story. But
Yes.
um, I stood from here to the wall from Katy Perry and Lionel Richie and Luke Bryan. In fact, I shook all their hands and just told them thank you.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. My experience on the show was just great. And I encourage anybody out there to at least try it. I mean, it was great for me, and it certainly helped me in my career.
Yeah. I was wanted to ask you, what advice do you have for those wondering if they should apply for it?
Well, go for it. There's
Yeah.
no better time than the present, and you'll never know unless you try. And I never thought that I would ever be on a show like that, let alone do well on there.
Mm.
So, and just go for it. It's led me to a career in music, and I'm forever grateful for that.
Yes. Yay. Thank you. Thank you to your mom and American Idol because you're
Yeah,
an
no
amazing
kidding.
singer.
Yeah, got a lot of people to thank. That's for sure.
Yes. So how old were you when you first discovered your voice, that you could sing and play an instrument? What instrument?
I first started singing when I was 3. I actually started in church singing a Josh Turner song. That's what I started out singing. It was "Long Black Train," the old Josh Turner song.
Oh, with that voice.
Yeah, and that was you talked about Josh earlier. It's crazy, that's why I started singing out, and then I got to open for him at Kentucky State Fair, which is crazy.
See?
Great, crazy moment. But anyways, that was kind of my first run-ins with it. And then whenever I was about 6, I was playing t-ball and I was horrible and I hated it. And I told my parents I want to go do something else. And I said, "We need to find something." So I'd always watched old Grand Ole Opry videos and things like that.
Yeah.
And I asked my granddad, I said, "Can I go take lessons?" He said, "Sure." So he started taking me every Monday night. And I
Oh,
took him until the shop closed. The shop closed on.
wow.
And so I took lessons from there. And then, like a lot of the playing and picking, I've just learned from other people and being around musicians and things. And we used to go to the honky tonks and the bars whenever I was 8 or 9 years old. My granddad would get me in, and I'd get up there and they'd let me sing. And I've lived that honky tonk life just by going around with them singing in different places. And I'm very thankful for everybody that let me get up and sing when I was a little kid, because it certainly is. I wouldn't be the singer or the musician that I am today without those folks.
Do you play anything else other than guitar?
I do. I mean, I can play a little. My other instrument is steel guitar. I
Oh,
love playing steel guitar. Yeah, and it's more the straight steel is what it's called. So it's more like a Hank Williams, Bob Wills sounding steel.
okay.
But yeah, and that's my other passion is my steel guitar playing. But I can play a little like ukulele or banjo and mandolin. If it's got strings and frets, I can make a noise with it. But The only one I can't play is a fiddle, and it's the devil's instrument because it's hell to play. So the fiddle's one I can't get hold of.
Yeah, that's I took that in when I was younger in school. I'm like, it just didn't
Yeah,
work with this, and this did not work. Yeah.
yeah. Well, it probably would have been better on guitar, but the
Yeah.
fiddle is the violin is the hardest instrument that there is out there.
Yeah, that's for sure. So what's coming up for you as far as a tour? You toured this summer. Is anything else
Yeah,
coming up?
we're heading to Tulsa. That's
Okay.
November, and we got a show in Kentucky, and nothing out y'all's way, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Got some stuff, local shows in Kentucky and this kind of thing, fairs and festivals. We got a thing called the Burgoo Festival. I'm going to play, which is it's a Kentucky dish, Kentucky burgoo. It's a
Yeah.
kind of like a jambalaya, if that makes sense, but without shrimp or anything. But that's a festival I'm going to play, and then I've got a residency up at the American Livestock Show in
Oh,
Louisville, Kentucky, and then heading and I'm playing at the Tulsa Hard Rock in November. So if you want any information on that stuff, I recommend going to my bands in town or over to my website. That'll be the place to see all my dates. But we got some things coming up and some things cooking, that's for sure.
share your social media with us.
Well, sure. Follow me at A Miller Music or Alex Miller. That's Alex Miller Music. I guarantee you can find me under A Miller Music, but Alex Miller Music should work too. And I'm the guy with the little blue check next to me.
Make sure that it's you. And what about the upcoming holidays? Are you home for Thanksgiving and Christmas?
I should be home for Christmas for sure. I might be working Thanksgiving. I don't know what I'll be doing. I think I'll probably be home though.
Yeah.
I always go to my aunt's house for Thanksgiving. She's a great cook, and we always go over there
Cool.
and see what she's up to.
So, what has it been like as a young man to have moved from home to there to Nashville? What's that been like?
Oh, I love it down here. And
Yeah.
it's not that I didn't love home, but there's so many more people down here that are musically gifted.
Yes.
I love my hometown. I love where I'm from,
Yes.
but there's a certain point you've got to realize that there's not as many opportunities for a musician there as there would be here. And so,
Yes.
as a musician, as a singer, as an artist, this is just where I need to be. It's not that I have anything against my hometown. It's just a necessary thing I needed to do.
Yes. Well, you have a face for television. Are you going to go that route? You do great in videos. What do you think?
Well, I appreciate that. I would get into news or radio if I could, but I
Yeah.
surely like singing more than doing the commentary. So that's probably what I stick to. But if y'all ever need anybody to do a news thing, I'd be more than glad to do that.
Well, there you go. You're going to be one of our interviewers. You can interview folks for us.
I could do that.
There you go. Well, we do appreciate you taking the time to talk to us here at the Hollywood Times. And we will keep in touch. You have any parting words for us?
Well, I want to say thank y'all for listening to my music and being Alex Miller fans, and I appreciate y'all's support. I sure appreciate y'all reaching out to us, and thank you for plugging my music.
And we will talk to you in the near future about all this upcoming duets and who it's going to be. I'm so excited
Okay, we'll
about
do it.
that.
We'll do it. You'll like it.
Yes, I can't wait. Well, thank you so much. You have a blessed day today.
You too.